Hey, it's Enoch again. I'm going to talk to you about another Native American video flute lesson. Our last Native American video flute lesson, we talked about the initial tone and how important it was to actually have that strong bass sound. And that sound's actually going to take you through the rest of your Native American flute playing experience. If you have a weak bass tone or weak initial tone, you're not going to have a very strong sound as you go through the rest of your scale. So you want to make sure that you try to practice that one tone. So it's very even, not a lot of pulsing, not a lot of wavering up or down. Now, today what I'd like to talk to you about is our first scale, which is the minor pentatonic scale. Two things first. Hand position. Strong hand goes on the bottom, weak hand goes on the top. And then we're only going to use these three fingers, so our first, second, and third fingers. We're not going to worry about our thumb or our fourth finger. So on each hand, we're going to use our first, second, and third finger, and we're just going to lay them on top of the holes, just like this. Strong hand, once again, on the bottom, weak hand on top. So if you're left-handed, you want to play this way, that's fine too, there's nothing wrong with it. For the majority of us, we're going to play with left hand on top, right hand on the bottom, because our strong hand's going to be our right hand. Now, the big thing here, the second thing to understand here, is especially inside of this scale, we're going to have an anchor finger, which means this finger's not going to move. And that's this finger right here. It's actually our third finger on our left hand, or our weak hand, and it's going to be covering the fourth hole. First hole, second hole, third hole, fourth, fifth, and sixth hole. So we number from bottom to top. So our fourth hole, we're going to have that anchor finger covered, okay? Now, the nice thing about that is it will never move. If you have just a 5-hole Native American wood flute, you won't have this hole here. It's actually gone. And you don't have to worry about removing your anchor finger. It's just not there for you. But for 6-hole flutes, we do have this anchor finger problem that we're just going to have to kind of keep our finger there. Now, the 6-hole flute gives a little bit more versatility because you can play a couple more notes that you can't play inside of a 5-hole flute, but that's okay. It's not too, don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal, especially when we're talking about our minor pentatonic scale. So all we're going to do is we're going to put our fingers on, and we're going to remove each one at a time. So we're going to go first, second, third, keep the fourth there, fifth, sixth, and then we're going to go back down. Cover, 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 and cover. And that's going to be our minor pentatonic scale. Really simple, really easy, and here's how it sounds. And then descending, it sounds like this. Pretty easy, right? Nothing too complicated, nothing too difficult, and it's just the scale. So, try it again, once more. And then down. When you start talking about playing scales, moving up and down just like that is not that big of fun. You don't want to always just kind of play your scales and practice them. It gets kind of boring. So we could talk about our jumps, which our jumps is when we actually jump from one note to another, or just play a different set of notes, etc., instead of using our fingers straight up and down. Our jumps are going to be very simple. Hold, uncover 1 and 2, cover back up 2, uncover 3 and 2, cover up 3, cover 4 and 3, 5 and 3, cover 5, and cover 6 and 5, cover 6. And then that's really simple. So here it's going to sound like this. Very simple, very easy, but it gets you feeling with that pentatonic in a little bit different tone, a little bit different flavor. And these kind of skips and these jumps are really good to play. So once again, it's going to be cover all, remove 1. Okay, so, sorry, cover all, remove 1 and 2. Cover 2, remove 2 and 3. Cover 3, remove 5 and 3. Cover 5, remove 6 and 5. Cover 6, and then up. Okay, so it's going to sound like this. And that way it just gets you playing that scale a little bit differently. The other big thing that you want to do, especially when you start learning your minor scales, is not just be able to play up and down evenly, but also be able to kind of go from one solid to all open to solid again. And that's another big thing that we do a lot in the Native American flute, is where we'll play this type of stuff. Thing is we'll do it really quickly. And we'll talk about this in another video lesson. But it's the idea of a pull off and a hammer down. We'll actually do it real quickly. So having that solid, open, solid sound is actually a pretty kind of cool thing, especially when you start putting it into different aspects of your flute playing. So you can get a different sound, different kind of approach to it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into some more advanced techniques of the Native American wood flute. But for today, we're just going to end with that little minor pentatonic scale. It's so easy, it's so simple, it's so versatile, and it's really kind of the basis of everything inside of the Native American wood flute. So we'll leave with that. Hope you have a good time.